Hello, everybody. Jake, your resident content cowboy. We're finally here. The trailer is here for Secluded Springs. The trailer is fully here, not the trailer that has been released early. We actually get to watch it here together. I'm excited. First, I'm just going to watch it through and try to not comment too much on it. So let's enjoy it. Secluded Springs. Legendary Pulse. Okay. I can't wait to actually get to read these. Milotic looks sick. Slugma. Entei. Raicou. Latios. And it looks like it's one pack, which is what we expect from a mini set. Sick. Starting soon. Alright, let's go. Let's go. I want to go through each card, and then we're going to have more updates, too. Because we're going to have the press updates pretty soon. It should be pretty cool. I want to go through each one. Is it still, it feels like a little loud? I could be wrong. Alright. So Suicune, at the end of your turn, if it's in the active spot, draw a card. Obviously, this is incredibly powerful. It does have some interesting issues with it where you can more easily be susceptible to red card and Mars and things like that. And needing to be in the active spot means having multiple copies of Suicune in your deck. It doesn't have the same ability that something like Sylveon has, but just being in the active spot, meaning you draw a card, is incredible. Crystal Waltz, 20 damage for each benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Wow. Okay. So for 2 energy, so the translation that we saw last night, we thought maybe it would hit multiple bench Pokemon, but no, this is for each benched Pokemon. So if your opponent has 3, you're doing 60 damage, right? If you have 3, you're doing an additional 60 damage. So this attack for 2 energy could do 120. However, if your opponent's building no bench, this isn't doing a lot. It's going to be fully focused on what you have on your bench, right? Interesting. But it's weird, because if they're not playing a bench at all, right, it's like, and so many decks run like Sylveon, they like set their whole bench up. This is going to be interesting. Mantike, Splashy, Toss, take a water energy from your zone attached to one of your benched. I can't believe I made a video about how bad water was, and now here we are, so I'm happy to see it, for sure. Okay, Slowking, Litter, discard up to 2 Pokemon tool cards from your hand. This attack does 50 damage for each card you discarded this way. Wow. So you could do 100 damage for a single energy, but you have to throw away multiple tools to make that happen. I'm trying to think of a good situation that would come up in, you know, but okay, fair enough. Traveling Merchant, look at the top 4 cards in your deck, put all Pokemon tool cards you find there into your hand, and shuffle the other cards back in your deck. This is one of those cards where it seems like, it feels like it could be kind of good. But at the same time, if you just brick on tool, like if there are no tools there, or if you've already drawn your tools, this thing is useless. Also, looking at your cards is irrelevant. It's not like you know what you're going to get next. One thing you could do, well, not really. I was like, one thing you could do is look at it, it shuffles it, then you could shuffle it again with like a Pokeball or something like that. This feels like one of those cards that is probably not good enough, except for a few decks that would really love a tool. And then outside of that, it's probably not ideal, right? We've got the Milotic, Healing Ripples. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may heal 60 damage from one of your water Pokemon. So this is, if you evolve this, it's a free Lily, but it's on any water Pokemon, so it doesn't need to be a stage 2. That's pretty cool, and you could use this as like a really interesting way to heal. some of your Pokemon, especially if you're like thinking earlier about Suicune, setting up your bench, right? You need like you'll get those Feebas on the bench, and then you would be able to power with power the Suicune in the active spot, and then just use Milotic to heal it. That actually could be pretty fun. I like that. Slugma, 2 energy to do combustion. Okay. Entei, 140 HP, legendary pulse. If it's in the active spot, draw a card. Blazing beatdown. If it has at least 2 extra fire energy attached, it does 60 more damage. So this is about what we saw in the translation. I think it's almost exactly right, except we didn't have the ability translation correct. Pretty cool. Drawing extra cards just being the active spot, quite powerful. 60 is okay. 4 for 120 feels a little rough. But Suicune has like some frustrating, you know, like ways to set that up too. Phanpy, the attack does damage to your active Pokemon equal to the damage this Pokemon has on, to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay. The art is awesome. I'm not really sure how like good this is going to feel on Phanpy. Probably kind of useless, but we'll see. Stunfisk, Static Shock for 50 as a basic. And then we have the Raicou, Legendary Pulse, able to draw that card in the active spot at the end of your turn. It's nice that you don't have to do anything except have it active there, right? 130 for the HP, so it's lower than the other two. Voltaic Bolt. There's no way I'm saying that right. Well, I know I didn't say bullet right. I screwed up the second word. I think I screwed up both. Voltaic Bullet. This attack does 10 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So, 2 energy. 60 is good. It's not insanely good, right? It's just kind of like Entei. It's like not insanely good. The 1 damage to the bench is nice to set up a lot of Cyrus plays, and the draw is nice. Obviously, Suicune being able to do an absurd amount of damage based on the bench is really cool, but all 3 of these cards have some really interesting like drawbacks to them. Like, you know, you've got Raicou that does 60 for 2. Solgaleo does 120 for 2. But Solgaleo requires you to have a basic, a rare candy, a Solgaleo, and the 2 energy all together. This is just 1 card in the active spot. So it does a lot less damage, but it also helps you comb through your deck in an interesting way. 2 energy, however, on each one of them is interesting because it means you will not be able, like, if you're behind on energy, you will need to power them with a baby, right? So if you're turn 1, you have to power one of these with a baby. By doing that, by powering with a baby like that, you will not get the advantage of their legendary pulse on your first turn. So being in the second spot, this card feels more powerful, I guess I would say. But in both situations, it's slow. It's a little slower than you want. At least in the second spot, you are drawing while you are powering this thing. But it is interesting to have cards that want to be in the active spot to use their really insanely powerful ability, but at the same time, you now can no longer really take advantage of these baby cards. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Latios, Crossing Flights. If Latios is on your bench, this attack does 20 more damage. We saw that. 90 HP for a basic. Pretty good. Latios, 110 HP. Fantastical Floating. If you have Latios in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. Very powerful. And 3 Psychic Energy for Luster Purge. Discard all energy from this Pokemon to do 120. I love a card with combinations like that. It's like never really meta, right? But it's like always a super fun one. So this is available August 28th. Next week, we are getting Secluded Springs. We might have some word from the press site. One second. Okay, I was looking for the cards on the press site, but we do have the promo cards over up on Pokemon Zone. Shout out to them. We have Miltank coming to the game, one of the promos. 110 HP as a basic with the 1 energy cost Rolling Frenzy. Until this Pokemon leaves the active spot, this Pokemon's Rolling Frenzy attack does plus 30 damage. This effect stacks. Let's freaking go. I love this card. This is so dumb. and so funny. It's in the this is what I want promo cards to be. I want promo cards to be not great, but hilarious when they work out. And I think Milotic is definitely in that spot, right? So it starts at 10, but it does plus 30 damage and just continues to stack every time you are attacking with it. That is like for like playing this in a fun way, that is pure joy of a card. I love to see it. That's awesome. Now, I know a lot of you are probably excited. I'll show Feebas real quick. Leap out, switch with one of your bench Pokemon. It says indecipherable, but I assume this is going to be switch with a bench Pokemon, right? So there's Feebas right there. Just works basically exactly like that Magikarp from Mythical Island. And we have Zoroark here. Zoroark promo A, 100 HP, so obviously it's a stage 1, right? Its ability, Illusion Trickery. Illusion, Michael. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this Pokemon's attacks, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done by to this Pokemon. Wow. With 2 energy for Night Days. Now, we actually don't know if there's also a non-promo Zoroark, but this is pretty cool. Here's what I like about this. The damage is still like meh, right? I mean, we talked about it earlier with some of the legendaries. Like, you've got 60 or 70 damage right here. It's okay. However, if you use this Pokemon to deal the knockout blow, and then you're immune for a turn as long as they don't switch you, that's pretty sick. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's another promo that I feel like is not ludicrously meta right away, just in your brain, but you could see some scenarios where this sets up some really fun plays. I actually really like both of these promo cards a lot. I believe that's all we have for the new set right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. We finally have the good, real information, the awesome trailer, the promo cards. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. More cool stuff coming soon. And by the way, thank you for all the love on the video I made about water decks and stuff. I know a lot of you really enjoyed that. I got a lot of great comments, so I hope to make more content like that too, because I find that stuff really interesting. Like I personally, when I'm looking for content, I love things like that where I'm like putting on someone yapping about water types in Pocket for 10 minutes. So, all right, guys, love you, and I'll see you all very soon. New set. We did it.